15 minutes. I have to put my mic on. Give me a second here. All right, there we go. So this is where we're going to be doing 5-minute exercises, one each for the mind, the body, and the soul, in hopes of preparing the our full self, because we are one, a whole, made up of 3 parts of mind, body, and soul. And the premise of this challenge is if we work on all 3 parts of us, then that's going to make us, even once we receive the success that we're searching for, and the goals and the projects or things that we set for ourselves, we will be happy. And so this is a place for you if you want to transform your life. For instance, if there's something that's going on with you internally or externally. Good morning, Patty. How you doing? Let's say that, you have like some unfinished business and it keeps you spinning your wheels, or, you're in a dead end job, or just, you find yourself in a new role that you're just not happy with. It can just be like, for instance, you just had a baby, and it could be like you've always wanted to have a child, but all of a sudden you have this new child and you're just not happy, or you've made some choices in your life that you're just not happy with. Okay, so how do we address those? And that's what we're doing. We're addressing them from all 3 standpoints, from the mind, the body, and the soul. So with that being said, what we're doing is 5-minute exercises on each of them. For the mind, we are reading a book, and currently we're reading Psycho-Cybernetics by Dr. Maxwell, Maltz, which is talking about our subconscious mind and how it's working. And then for the body portion, we're doing 5-minute yoga. We're doing the sun salutation for 2 more days. And then for the soul portion, we are doing a 5-minute meditation where we are learning to clear and calm our mind and just focus on our breath using Ujjayi breathing. Okay, so again, the premise of this challenge is that it just takes little baby steps at a time to work on it. Like, for instance, you don't have to, I like to use the analogy, how do you eat an elephant? It's one bite at a time. So how do you transform yourself? It's little small increments. But the most important thing that I want you to understand is those little small increments has to be in all 3 areas. And I'll just kind of give you some examples. For instance, I know we've all seen it. Like, if you remember way back when, a few years ago, when that big TV show came on, The Biggest Losers, where they had a lot of contestants that were trying to lose a lot of weight. And then, it was basically show week after week. We were seeing the exercise. They were going through the hardships, the diets, and everything that they were, doing to stay on track to lose their weight. And of course, they would have a weekly weigh-in. And of course, at the very end, whoever lost the most weight, most inches, they won money. Then fast forward a couple of years later, they do the shows of where are they now? And we find that a good majority of those people have regained the weight. And so, in other words, what I'm getting at is, it is possible for you to reach your goals, or you set out projects to do and you accomplish them. It really is possible, because guess what? We were designed to be goal-striving mechanisms. Okay, so in other words, we were designed from God to be successful. All we have to do is just set those clear goals. However, the path that you take to get to those goals, and then once you reach the goals, the state of your being is going to be determined by what's inside. So your self-image. So those people that regain the weight, you're like, oh my gosh, if that ever happened to me, I would never do that. Or people that win a lot of money in the lottery, they tend to lose it all within the year. You say, oh my God, if that ever happened to me, that wouldn't happen to me. Well, you really can't say that, because you don't know, for one thing, right? And then 2, they probably thought the same thing. The thing is what's inside of them. It's their self-image that's going to dictate, including you. Your self-image will dictate your state of being. So for example, let's say that you were that person that was trying to lose a lot of weight, and then you end up losing a lot of weight. Just because you lost that weight and reached your goal does not mean that you're going to necessarily be happy, because again, your self-image. Likewise, just because you get out of debt doesn't mean you're going to be happy. Why? Because of your self-image. If your self-image does not see you as a fit individual, if your self-image does not see you as a debt-free person that's able to be financial responsible with money, then guess what? You're going to regain the weight, or you're going to go get right back in debt. So I like to use the analogy of, it's like painting the outside of your house, but their inside is a total disaster area. And guess what? We live on the inside. So that's the premise of this transformation, is that we're working on all 3 parts so that we can be happy as we thrive to reach our goals, or our projects, if you don't like the word goals. All right, so I want to kind of jump in the book today, because I just realized that we only have 2 more days left in this book, and we're reading in chapter 8, which is titled The Ingredients of the Success Type Personality and How to Acquire Them. And the prescription that we've been given is the word success. And so I mentioned the last 2 days what the S stands for, UCCES, S. So we're actually going through individually what each of these mean. And I just realized that we have 2 days to get through all of these, which means I got to get through like the U and at least a couple of these C's today so that we can actually finish this. And if not, I'll summarize it for you. But I kind of want to make sure that we get through this, because this is, like I said, this is some really good stuff. And again, I highly recommend this book. I really do. Like this book, you can get it Amazon. I can't remember how much it was, but it was under, I think, I want to say under $20 or something like that. But it really is a good book because it's teaching us about our subconscious and how that works. Because a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about, even though consciously we know about it, this has happened subconsciously. This is like a habit. And so I do want to remind you again, the 21-day habit that we embarked upon like 2 days ago. Remember putting on the opposite shoe? So I want you to keep that up. Remember, if you miss one day, you got to start all over again. And it's those small incidental habits that you want to start changing, because when you start changing things that matter, let me see if I have my list around here somewhere. You know what? I don't. But I had a list. Oh, wait, do I have it? No, I have a list of the habits. Oh, yes, I do. Here it is right here. I have a list of habits that people were writing in to me that they want to change, such as smoking. One person talked about her whole life, like the routine of her whole life was a habit. Like basically from the time she wakes up to the time she goes to bed, it's basically the same thing every single day, and she wasn't happy with that. There were some people talking about biting nails, so just different things. So if you want to tackle those particular habits, that's really going to help you get, to transform your life, you have to start off with the little small ones. Okay, so I do want to remind you to continuously do those the little small habits. For me, I'm still brushing my teeth, a totally different routine. Like I'm consciously aware of that, and I have been putting on my yoga sock, my left yoga sock before my right yoga sock. But then I just realized today, like I was like, oh, I forgot. I put my right foot in my pants before I put my left foot. So I got to do that again tomorrow. But again, it's these little small things that, that you want to change that's going to help you change yourself, because it's just the small baby steps. Don't think in terms of big picture. Don't think in terms of the big elephant. Just think in terms of little small bites at a time. And I guarantee you this will help make change on your life. I'm getting reports of that. Like for instance, I'm getting reports on people sleeping better, or just, changing different individual habits that came out that they didn't even realize. Okay, so this really does work. You just got to stick with it. Okay, and remember, it's not me trying to effect change or trying to get you to have my beliefs or anything like that. That's not it at all. But what I do want you to have is an open mind and the understanding. Like to me, that's the most important thing, is the understanding. Because it's one thing to know or say that you know, but when you really understand it, that's when you decide to make the change. So for instance, my whole thing that I've been talking about for the last couple of days now are the habits and the beliefs. And because those are the things that result into actions or the lack thereof. Do I need to show you that picture again? Okay, remember the brain, the top part is the thinking mind and the conscious, the bottom part is the emotional mind and the subconscious, and that's how you develop your habits and your beliefs. Well, guess what? What are beliefs? These are just thoughts that you think over and over again. It doesn't make them true. It's just something that you were taught to believe. And again, I showed you the picture of how when we were born, we only had a subconscious mind. So a lot of those fundamental beliefs that we have were imprinted to us from our parents. So basically what they believe is what we believe, because that's typically how it works. So does that mean that when you grow up, you don't change it? No. But generally speaking, those fundamental beliefs that we have was implanted into us as a child. So again, does that make it true? Or, to you it does, but to other people it may not. So all I'm saying is, if those beliefs to this current day are not serving you, you have the power to change them. If those beliefs are serving you, then by all means, keep them. That's not what I'm not saying change everything, but there are some beliefs that you have and some habits that you have that you know are currently not serving you. So I want you to know you have the power to change those. All right, so yesterday we talked about, again, a prescription of success. And this is how to embark upon that success type personality. Because remember, I told you we're all designed to be successful. But if you say, well, Pierre, here I am 40 years old and I'm not married and I didn't accomplish everything that I thought I was going to accomplish. Well, one thing I have to say to you is, first, change your thinking. Because remember, the drill sergeant, you are a failure. Yes, drill sergeant, you are a failure. Okay, so one, you're not a failure. You may not be in the position or the place that you thought you may be, but guess what? There is still time. There's still time left in your life. You have the chance to change it and to make the change. Instead of waddling in on what could have been and what should have been, Think about what can be and go toward that direction. So if you're 40 years old right now, or approaching 40, not married, or you were a recluse and all of a sudden you decide you want to be outgoing and have friends, whatever the situation may be, understand that you have the chance to change it starting today, starting right now. It just takes a decision. Okay. All it takes right now is the decision to make that happen, because we are programmed for success. Once you make that decision, I guarantee you the universe will put things into play to move you toward that goal. But it has to be a clearly defined goal. You can't just say, oh, I want to be married. Be careful what you ask for. Okay, you need to be a little bit more specific about the type of person you want. And remember, you're only going to track who you are. So I would kind of wait for a while, work on yourself, and just kind of meditate on what it is that you really want all out of life. One out of a person, one out of a mate, one out of a relationship, whatever the case may be. Really think about what you want and then ask for it, and then the universe will open up and bring it to you. Okay, but you got to believe that. Remember, beliefs, thoughts, things that you think over and over again. Okay, so yesterday we talked about as for sense of directions, and I love the analogy that Dr. Maxwell gave when he said that functionality, we're like a bicycle. I love those analogies, right? Because, I talked about us being a computer. My favorite one is us being a house. I mean, my whole book is the premise of that. Is my whole book is our body is our house, because we live here. We live inside this piece of beautiful machinery. Okay, because this is your body. You are a beautiful person. Okay, and I give you permission to say that to yourself. I give you permission to say and think to yourself that you are a beautiful person. But in this analogy, it says that a man is like a bicycle, and a bicycle maintains its poise and equilibrium only as long as it is going forward towards something. Okay, so I'm pretty sure you know how to ride a bicycle, right? You know how, like, once you find your balance and then you just move right along as long as you're moving forward. However, if you try to stay still on a bicycle and try to maintain that balance, you're going to be shaky and you're going to end up falling, right? Well, same thing with us in life. As long as we're moving forward to something, you will find that you have some type of equilibrium. Now, does that mean that you're not going to be, there's going to be a smooth road ahead? No, not at all. It's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is, if you find yourself currently in a new role, you are a new mother, you're not happy, your current situation, you're just not happy with where you are in life, understand that. Instead of focusing on that, focus on another project or another goal, and then that will keep you on track. But if you stay and waddle within your current situation that you don't like, guess what? You're going to get more of it. Okay, and that's going to be your unhappiness. So today we're going to move on to understanding. So understanding depends on good communication. Communication is vital to any guidance system or computer. You cannot react appropriately if the information you act on is faulty or misunderstood. Many doctors believe that confusion is the basic element in neurosis. To deal effectively with the problem, you must have some understanding of its true nature. Most of our failures in human relations are due to misunderstandings. We expect other people to react and respond and come to the same conclusion as we do from a given set of facts or circumstances. We should remember that what we said in the earlier chapter. No one reacts to things as they are, but to his own mental images. Most of the time, the other people's reaction or position is not taken in order to make us suffer, nor to be hard-headed or malicious, but because he understands and interprets the situation differently from us. He is merely responding appropriately to what to him seems to be the truth about the situation. To give the other person credit for being sincere, if mistaken, rather than willful and malicious, can do much to smooth out human relations and bring about better understanding between people. So ask yourself, how does this appear to him? How does he interpret the situation? How does he feel about it? Try to understand why he might act that way he does. Okay, so fact versus opinion. And that's important because I'm pretty sure we've all had this happen. I know we all have. Where you said something to someone and they totally misinterpret what you said. And you're like, wait, that's not what I said, but that's how they interpret it. So understand, like, even what I'm saying today is being misinterpreted, I know, by some people. And that's why I always tell you, or I've been saying, I love the saying that my pastor says, Charge it to my head, not to my heart, because I am coming from a place of love and for peace and understanding toward you, okay, toward my fellow humans, okay. So if what I'm saying is driving like a cord into the core of your being, again, it's not my intention to do that, but honestly, it kind of is, because if I am driving the, like, if I want to be honest about it, if I am driving the cord, that means I'm hitting home. I'm hitting to something that you really know is true internally, but you're outwardly trying to fight it. So that in yourself is the indication that there's something that you need to address, okay? So in other words, you're not supposed to agree with every single thing. Remember, I'm not here to try to make you agree with every single thing. I'm just here to give you a different perspective, okay? Because we all want to transform and be a better person of who we are. All right, so fact versus opinion. Many times we create confusion when we add our own opinion to facts and come up with the wrong conclusion. Fact: a husband cracks his knuckles. Opinion: the wife concludes he does that because he thinks it will annoy me. Fact: the husband sucks his teeth after eating. Opinion: the wife concludes if he had any regard for me, he would improve his manners. Fact: don't you love how he's talking about the husbands? Fact: two friends are whispering when you walk up suddenly. When you walk up, suddenly they stop talking and look somewhat embarrassed. Opinion: you think they must have been gossiping about me. The wife mentioned earlier was able to understand that her husband's annoying mannerisms were not deliberate and willful acts on his part for the purpose of annoying her. When she stopped reacting just as if she had been personally insulted, she was able to pause, analyze the situation, and then select an appropriate response. So be willing to see the truth. Oftentimes, we color incoming sensory data by our own fears, anxieties, or desires. But to deal effectively with environment, we must be willing to acknowledge the truth about it. Only when we understand what it is can we respond appropriately. We must be able to see the truth and to accept the truth, good or bad. Bertrand Russell said, one reason Hitler lost World War II was that he did not fully understand the situation. Bearers of bad news were punished. Soon no one dared tell him the truth. Not knowing the truth, he could not act appropriately. Many of us are individually guilty of the same error. We do not like to admit to ourselves our errors, mistakes, shortcomings, or ever admit we have been in the wrong. We do not like to acknowledge that a situation is other than we would like to see it to be. So we kid ourselves. And because we will not see the truth, we cannot act appropriately. Someone has said that it is a good exercise to daily admit one painful fact about ourselves to ourselves. The success type personality not only does not cheat and lie to other people, he learns to be honest with himself. What we call sincerity is itself based upon self-understanding and self-honesty, for no man can be sincere who lies to himself by rationalizing or telling himself rational lies. All right, so here is our prescription. Look for and seek out true information concerning yourself, your problems, other people, or the situation, whether it's good news or bad news. I want you to adopt the motto, it does not matter who's right, but what's right. An automatic guidance system corrects its course from negative feedback data. It acknowledges errors in order to correct them and to stay on course. So must you. Admit your mistakes to correct them and stay on course. But don't cry. Admit your mistakes, but don't cry over them. Correct them and go forward. In dealing with other people, try to see the situation from their point of view as well as your own. Okay, so that's it for today. So that's a good one as far as like being willing to see the truth and understand that what you say may be interpreted differently. I'm pretty sure you've where you get a crowd of people watching some type of accident. And then the police comes and questions the crowd about what occurred. And out of a crowd of, let's say, 20-some different people that have watched and witnessed the situation, Babu, guess what? They get 20 different responses. All right, so let me get back in camera. Sorry about that. All right, my son is leaving, so I want to make sure that he gets himself together before we move on out there. So I want you to understand that happens in life as well. So what you say, particularly to yourself, that's why interpretation to yourself is very important, and saying these positive things while I'm walking in the dark, positive things to yourself so that you can maintain that positive state of being. All right, so we're moving on now to the yoga portion, and we are doing the salutation. I think we got another day left in the sun salutation, and then we'll move on to another routine. And then immediately following the yoga, we're going to go into meditation. And this is a time for us to work on our mind. And if you're just now joining me in the middle, then welcome. For the next next 10 minutes, then we're going to be doing some exercises, one for our body and one for our mind. And I invite you to join us. Join me, not just us, join me. Instead of watching me, I will give you some directions on what to do, so that way it'll be easier for you. All right? Remember, yoga is a practice, meditation is a practice, so be patient with yourself, and let's get started. All right, stand with your feet right underneath your hips. Your shoulders are drawn down and back. Your head is a natural extension of your spine, and your hands are down by your side. We're going to take a nice deep breath, bring the hands overhead. And as you exhale, you're going to dive the body forward. As you inhale, you're going to look up halfway by flattening out your back. As you exhale, you're going to flatten out your palms. You're going to step back, right, left into the plank. As you continue exhaling, release your knees, your chest, and your chin. Scoop your body forward as you inhale to upward facing dog. Place those shoulders down and away from your ears. Then you're going to curl your toes under and take your body to downward facing dog. And we're going to stay here for 5 deep breaths. Your fingers and toes are spread out nice and wide. Your arms are shoulder distance apart and your feet are hip distance apart. Your thumbs are facing inward toward each other and your middle fingers are facing forward. You're pressing your chest toward your thighs and your knees. And your head is in alignment with your biceps. Now step forward, right, left. As you inhale, take it up halfway. As you exhale, forward fold. As you inhale, take your body all the way up. And as you exhale, dive the body forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Flatten out the palms, step back, left, right to the plank. Continue exhaling, release your knees, chest, and chin. As you inhale, scoop your body forward to upward facing dog to relax the shoulders. And as you exhale, curl the toes under and take it back to downward facing dog. Downward facing dog is a resting position. If this is too challenging for you, feel free to release your knees down. Tailbone is sticking toward the back of the room. Try to get your heels down toward the mat. Now step forward, left, right. Inhaling, looking up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, take it all the way up. This time, arch back. Exhale, dive the body forward. Look up halfway. Flatten out the palms, right, left. Continue exhaling, knee, chest, and chin, or Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to upward facing dog. And then curl the toes under. Exhale to downward facing dog. Now step forward, right, left. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, take it all the way up, arch back. Exhale, dive the body forward. Look up halfway. Step back, left, right. Knee, chest, chin. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Step forward. Looking up halfway. Flatten out, forward fold. Inhale, take it all the way up. Arch back. And nod the body forward. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, take it all the way up. Greet the palms together at the very top. Bring the palms down as you exhale through the center. And namaste. Okay, so this brings us to the last exercise. This is where we're going to be doing some meditation. So if you're just joining me, perfect time to clear your mind. So you're going to come into a nice seated, comfortable position. If you're sitting in a chair, take your shoes off, make sure that your feet are grounded to the floor. If you're lying down, be sure to put the tongue on the roof of your mouth towards concaving up. Because if you put your tongue towards your teeth, you will have a tendency to fall asleep. And remember, you're going to be relaxing your mind, which is going to relax your body. So again, lying down is not the best to do meditation unless you want to fall asleep, okay? Now, as you close your eyes, thoughts will come into your mind. Just gently push them aside and just focus on your breathing. We're going to be doing Ujjayi breaths. So Ujjayi breaths are that when you inhale, the diaphragm is going to come up, your belly is going to expand outward, and as it continues to rise up through the rib cage, then your chest is going to expand out. And then as you exhale, your chest is going to collapse back down, your abs are going to go back in as the diaphragm goes back to the original position. We're going to inhale for a count of 1. We're going to then hold for a count of 1, and then we're going to exhale for a count of 2. Inhale, hold, and exhale. Inhale, hold, and exhale. Inhale, hold, and exhale. Continue along the same breathing pattern. You're going to inhale, hold, and exhale. relax, and return refreshed and calm. You've done something good for yourself today. Okay, so that concludes the challenge today. Not the challenge, but today's Transform Your Life in 15 minutes. And I just want you to know that if you've been following me along in social media for the last month, I have been doing a word a day, meaning my posts have been revolved around a single word. So I want you to know that today's word is joy. Okay, so have a joyful day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.